Pula family, welcome back to the Nesian Money Show, where we're all about building financial confidence in the Pacifica communities and families. Today, we are honoured to have with us a true legend of rugby league, Mark Horo. Born in New Zealand, Mark's illustrious career as a professional rugby league player spanned the 80s and 90s. He represented New Zealand internationally, earning 16 test caps for the Kiwis and showcased his talents in the 1988 and 1995 Rugby League World Cups. At club level, Mark played for Te Aratu in New Zealand, and in Australia, he donned the jerseys of the Parramatta Eels and Western Suburbs Magpies before concluding his playing career with the Auckland Warriors. Beyond his playing days, Mark has dedicated himself to coaching and mentoring, contributing significantly to the development of rugby league. He has coached in New South Wales and currently serves as the coach of the New Zealand Maori team, where he imparts his extensive knowledge and experience to next generation players. In addition to his rugby league legacy, Mark is also a bit of an entrepreneur, having run his own business at A1 Chemicals. His experience in both sports and business provides valuable insights into resilience, financial independence, and the importance of long-term planning, key themes that align within our mission at the Nesian Money Show. Now, as a proud grandparent, Mark continues to inspire his family and community, exemplifying the values of perseverance, leadership, and dedication. His journey offers invaluable lessons for achieving financial empowerment within Pacifica communities. Please join me in welcoming Mark Horo to the show.
Let's go.
Mark,
I can go home now.
Yeah, we're pretty much done.
We're done and dusted.
Yeah, I know, Mark. That's, I've been thinking about this for a while, Mark. Like, we have a lot of conversations, and man, there's always so many gems, and the things you say are like, how do we break this down and get Mark's all the insights out of his brain and all the gems that he gives us, and be able to deliver it in a way that our community can resonate with and, embrace and see the value in, from your experience and what you have to offer, Mark. So today we're going to pick your brains and learn more about you, and really honored, and it's a pleasure to have you on, Mark.
Yeah, awesome, Joe. I'm just thinking to myself, after I had a stroke in October, there's some dead brain cells, but I got to go back a long way when I think about the start. It was Melville Old Boys in 1977. I started to Melville Old Boys, Hamilton City Tigers, before the Te Aratu Roosters.
Yes.
When I listened to my story, I can go back to 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
I've got a. It's an interesting story. So my sons didn't know some of the stuff that I had to tell about my life.
That's
right.
Wow. We'll start with you.
Welcome.
We're gonna,
start off, can you tell us about your upbringing, your family, where did you grow up, and what your childhood was like?
Wow. That's a podcast.
Yes.
That's a podcast.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah. So I grew up in Hamilton, New Zealand. I was born in the Waikato Hospital, but the Hamilton Hospital. I was named after a brother. I'm one of 10 children.
Oh, wow.
I'm named after a brother that passed away at 4 months old from my mother. Yeah, so it was a really tragic time for our family. But I got the grace of like a guardian angel, and he's been following me all my life. I've been protected all my life by my brother Gregory. So Mark Gregory Horo. So that's interesting. So Melville Old Boys, Trevor Clark, Rita Clark. They started Melville Old Boys. I did that at school. I was a typical rugby boy, breakaway. I go into a ruck, and if you wanted the ball, Lizzie, I got the ball for you, and that was those days. Yeah. It's interesting too. In those days, when you play rugby union, I get you the ball and then you kick it.
This is in Hamilton, yeah, Mark?
Hamilton. You grew up in
Melville
High. Melville High.
That's Hamilton, New Zealand. Yeah.
So there's another story about I won't mention names, but there was I had a maths teacher that gave me a hard time. I got the strap. I got the cane. Yeah. I got the cane at school. Got the strap. Mr. Beebe gave me the strap. I got the cane, got the strap. I was a very sports-minded kid. I went to America when I was 15 and 17 years old.
To where? America, did you say? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I saw Mickey Mouse at 15 twice.
Oh, for wrestling, eh? What was
Yeah,
it? For, as a wrestler, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happened to me anyway?
So when you think there's
Yeah.
there's a podcast
Yeah.
without sort of jumping the gun on my whole life.
Yeah.
The skill I got from wrestling. So we used to do down in Pollen Crescent where I grew up in Hamilton in New Zealand. We'd have trolley races against some Pākehā fellas up the road, the Harrisons,
Yeah.
Neville, Trevor, and Michael. And it's in those days too. You race to win.
Yeah.
And you race to win. Like, you pull the wheels off their trolleys if you had to. So anyway, the Harrisons were wrestlers, and just I don't know whether me and Shane sort of competitive nature, but they said, "Oh, you want to become wrestlers?" So 7 or 8 years old, we started wrestling, and the guy that was taking us at the time was a guy called Ronnie Estrella, and he was, I think, a New Zealand champion, but he was our coach at the time, and then he taught me how to wrestle. We did things at 7 years old, crawl along the mat, those Navy SEAL stuff, shit, like we're just doing stuff, and just really upper body stuff, and just really, really good, strong, disciplined stuff. I still remember sort of, I'm going to jump around a little bit. So I'm a wrestler, and I'm doing really well. And I went to training at 15 years old. They said, "How did you get here?" I said, "I ran here." I would run everywhere. I'd mastered the discipline of discipline, if that makes perfect sense. So I would run everywhere. I just meant nothing to me to run 10Ks, 5Ks just off the bat. But wrestling set me up. It was a very transferable skill. When you think about the NRL today, that's probably one of the number one skills is being able to wrestle, hold somebody down, or vice versa. If I hold you down, Joe, and play the ball down, or I speed it up. So if I get up before you, I win. If I get up before you, I win. So it's about 400 contests. When you think about the game of rugby league, that's the essence of rugby league wrestling. So I was very lucky. My mother gave me a really good start. I was 13 years old. So what's that? 1971.
Yeah.
1973. I go down to Christchurch in a friendship, and Mum was smoking in the plane. Hey boy, those days,
Can you smoke on the plane back then?
They called a friendship. So Mum says, "We're smoking." So when there's no smoking, it was about my mother. She's smoking in the plane, and everybody was smoking in the plane. From Hamilton down to Christchurch. The beautiful part about the story was I was 13 and I was wrestling. I was wrestling for my first ever New Zealand title. I'm 13 years old. So how heavy were you at 13? Can you remember?
Oh, probably 40 kilos.
I was 30. I was 38.
Or less. Yeah.
So I was 38. And beautiful. So about 40 kilos. So I was 38. But I'd already trained for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I came down. So a couple of little things about the story. So I had a friendship. Mum was smoking. Flew me down to Christchurch. I had to wrestle a 15-year-old. And the good part about the story, he was 15. And there's no way, is he, that I thought I could beat a 15-year-old. 38 kilos, 13 years old, and he's 2 years older than me. He's in year 10 and I'm in year 7. It's just really, really weird that I'd already given him a head start. Anyway, long story short, it's only 3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
And the first 2-minute rounds, he was going to nearly pin me the first 2 minutes. Anyway, my mother gets down on the mat, by the side of the mat, and slaps the mat. "Don't you bloody give in," and slap the mat. The good part about that story, that set me up for the rest of my life, that slap on the mat. It taught me that never, don't give start. Don't give in. Don't give start. Don't. Yeah, it's funny when I say don't get start. So I'd already given him a head start being 15.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, I couldn't pin him.
Yeah.
I pin him, but I beat him.
Yeah.
So I was 13 years old and I was a New Zealand champion for the first time. But my mother set me up on the mat, slapped the mat. "Don't you bloody give in." She said she didn't care whether I won or lost, but I was allowed to not try.
Yeah.
But that set me up. So I've trained that way all my life. So I get up in the morning, 5 o'clock, take my dogs for a walk. I do push-ups every day. I did 50 push-ups today, just muck around.
Did you play before you were 13? Did you play any footy before that?
Right, bit of rugby, bare feet in those days too, rugby union, and in those days too. Izzy, you would have played number 9, number 10 in rugby union.
Ooh, yes.
Yep. So my job was to go into the ruck and the maul and give you the ball, and then you would kick the ball. So I'd run down the other end, we'd go to the ruck and the maul, and I'd give you the ball. The guy down the ball, he'd do the same thing, and he'd give the ball and he'd kick it back. So in 1973, 1974, 1975, I got tired of it. I got really tired of it. But my journey to rugby league didn't start till I was 17. Wow. So it's funny.
That's late, eh? That's late.
Yep. So I was rugby union. I was Gwyn Shield, Roland Mills, all that sort of stuff. I was going to be a rugby player. I wanted to be an All Black.
Yep.
Anyway, long story short, I made a New Zealand champion again at 15, and I got selected to go to America, and North and South Dakota. So I saw Mickey Mouse when I was 15 twice.
Wow.
So when we flew into Los Angeles, we went to Disneyland and got a photo with Mickey Mouse, and then we went down to Mexico. We came back and went to Disneyland again and saw Mickey Mouse. Got 2 photos with Mickey Mouse. It's interesting when I think about that. I know that sounds really, but I saw Mickey Mouse when I was 15. What I would say now, before we're not even talking money, but I understood the concept.
Yeah.
My parents had to borrow a bit of money off the house to get me to go to America. I didn't treat that well.
10 kids.
Only 7 at the time.
7 at the time.
We found 3 later. There's another 3 later. That's 10 siblings.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's another
No,
story.
I mean, for them to take you over there.
We only had
especially
7
all
at
those
the
kids.
we only had 7 at the time, but we found another 3. My dad had a relationship before my mother. So there's another 3, which is relative to the tonga. The village. Yeah, when you think
village,
about
the village life.
So mum was a big influence on you. Did you have any teachers or anyone that you looked up to as mentors at that early age?
I was a sports nut.
Oh, yeah.
So I just remember I wanted to win everything.
Yeah.
I would hold on to the back of the van, got dragged down the road, trolley races, wrestling, rugby. If I went to a mall, I got the ball. I don't care who you were, I got the ball. And you kicked it down the other end, I go in. It was just, it taught me a little bit about just footy. It was just interesting, just the disciplines of that.
Yeah.
But just Mickey Mouse twice when I was 15.
You told us before when you were swinging off that and you fell down the hill, and then
that was before. So when I just before I'd won my 13 under 13s, I fell 90 feet when I was 12.
Yeah.
What survived though, because I was a super freak at fitness, that's what saved my life. So a couple of little parts about that story. So the good part about good part about the story. So I fell 90 feet. It's only about 50 metres. But the cool part about it's just 50 metres.
Just 50 metres.
But the cool part about the 50 metres was so I made the papers. I made the Waikato Times.
Yeah.
Melville boy falls 90 feet. You can look it up. And Melville boy falls 90 feet.
So what happened?
So good story. Mary, not smart. So I swing out.
Yeah.
I look up and I see the rope's going to snap. So I come back and I swung the rope back out without any weight on it. I thought, it's all right. That's my last memory.
Shucks, and you dropped that long, and it was a bank, like a bang, bang, bang.
Great. So not smart. There's no weight, so it's not going to snap. Yeah. That's my last memory, is to throw the rope out. So I jump back on it, and that's my last memory. The cool part about the story again. So you're right, Joe. So I go out, and it goes over a bank like that. That's why I get 90 feet. But the rope snaps. I don't know this at the time, but the rope has to snap for me to fall. I hit the ground. I miss a tree stump. I hit the tree stump, I die.
Yeah.
I missed the tree stump. I rolled down the bank, down a 45-degree bank, through the gorse, all the bush, down into a creek. I'm lying in the creek, and this part of me is in the creek. This part of me is out the creek. So I'm lying when the firemen found me. I'm lying in the water. So should die with a tree stump. Roll into the water, should drown. Can't move, unconscious, and I busted my spleen. So it cracked all my ribs on my right hand side. ruptured a spleen, so I was bleeding to death internally.
Wow.
Should die. So that's why I go back to Gregory, my guardian angel, so my brother that I got named after.
Yeah, there's a purpose there. Yeah,
There's a reason.
You're here today telling your story.
And you can look it up.
Yeah.
Melville Boy
Falls.
Melville Boy
We're gonna put
falls
that on.
90 feet. It's
Put the
a
snippet on.
it's crazy. So 90 feet and cool story. My mother runs around the house with a blanket.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. My sisters find me, hear me. It sounds like a goat. That's a terrible sound of someone moaning. They thought it was a goat, but it was me lying in the creek, and then they told my dad and my brother Shane. So they come running down the bush through there, just through the gorse. You think so? 45 metres. It's from your property. From one end of your property to the other end of the property, and you've got to go through the gorse, and then they can't pick me up. I'm lying there, I'm bleeding to death. So the firemen come down, they put me in a little carry thing, they get into the ambulance, and they know that I'm bleeding to death. Well, I should die.
How long did they reckon you were down there for?
No idea. Maybe 45 minutes.
Wow, no, yeah.
Long enough to me to be alive.
Yeah.
So that time frame. If I'm bleeding to death, I don't know. When you rupture a spleen, I don't know how long you got.
Yeah.
So one lung was. So one of my lungs had ruptured. So I'd punctured a lung.
Yeah.
Punctured a lung. Ruptured a spleen. Broke all the ribs on my right hand side. And so I get to the hospital.
That's like a prior one. Get me to hospital now.
Yeah. Wow. Another ambulance.
Yeah.
So your mum was Maori, Māori, and dad was...
No, dad was Māori, mum
Dad.
was Pākehā.
Okay. That's
So I had a lot of fights with Maoris. A lot of fights. So
really?
yeah, too fair, cuz.
Oh, is that what...
Not
So
black
you
enough.
tell us a little bit about that, Mark. So how your heritage
know.
influenced sort of your journey and like in terms of life. So younger life and what was a difficult thing, eh?
Can I finish one more story?
One more story.
So I'm on the operating table,
Yeah.
and they're sticking a tube in me
Yeah.
to drain out the blood.
From the lungs, eh? Yeah.
They put it in too far.
She...
Had to pull it back out. So, and I've come off the table. I've come off the table. Yeah. So
12 years old. 12 years old.
12 years old. So they've had to pull it back out. So they've shoved the hose in me and they've pulled it in. So they've had to unstitch it and pull it back out. So back off the table. But yeah. But I stayed in
Action review.
Yeah, so I was in hospital only for about 10 days. But the doctors did say that my recipe for success was my fitness. I was super fit, which saved my life. So I don't know how long, when you rupture a spleen, how long you got to live. So it was enough time.
I couldn't tell you right now. Did the rope go back up?
That rope's never been back up there.
Hey.
Melvin Boy Falls.
Okay, so my dad put me on top of the car when I was like 4 months old when the Queen arrived in 1963.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad, people were waving out to my father. My father was waving back. They weren't waving. They were just, hey, your son's on top of the car. So I'm a basket with a little basket on top of the car. And then Dad realised he'd left me on top of the car.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I fell out of the car when I was like 5 years old. The door opened, bang, 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 bang along the road. Just so many.
Yeah, a lot of lives, mate. Look at solid, still looking solid, Mark. Look at
Guardian angels out.
Every time I hear the boys talk, they're like, Mark's still running the ball, mate. He's, Mark just randomly trying to put a shot at me. Training.
I'm still crazy.
Yeah, Marky, so you said you're like you had a lot of fights with Māoris growing up. Is it because of the half and half, was it? Or
Yeah, so
that?
Dad walked out of Dodge when he was 12. He on horseback from Kawhia, Mokomoko, where we grew up, where Dad's family grew up.
Yeah.
But he was whāngai. But you know, my dad's passed now, so I won't. I don't know how to. That's another story. He walks out of. I call it Dodge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that's he rode out of Dodge when he was like 12 years old, 13 years old.
What does that mean, Mark? Like you rode out of Dodge? Like
He actually left Kawhia at 13 years old on horseback.
Kawhia is like where he was.
Mokomoko, yeah. Mokomoko, yeah. So he left on horseback when he was like 13 or 14 years old. Just you know, again, Dad can't defend himself, but I won't, and I don't want to.
Yeah, why the reasons and stuff. Yeah.
Part of the village, cuz.
Yeah.
Part of the village. So he left Dodge when he was 14 years old, and he You met my
Oh,
mother.
yeah. Was there a lot of like cultural influence, like growing up? Were you immersed in the Māori culture, or was it
No.
Oh,
In
wow.
those days, we're talking about the 60s.
Yeah. Okay. So it was mostly like European,
All of
British.
it European.
Oh, really?
1 + 1 = 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So I grew up
wow.
no Māori. So we went to a funeral or a tangi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were,
When did this sort of change? What sort of time period, like where the culture started coming back in?
So,
That's interesting,
no, good question.
Yeah, really interesting.
We're not even on these.
That's all right.
All right,
Yeah.
I guess the good part of the story. This is how it translates for me for being a half caste. So I grew up as a half caste.
Yeah.
Busy. You want to be a half caste in New Zealand, so the whites don't weigh in, the blacks don't weigh in. So I feel like you're in no man's land, and
Wow.
you're a half caste. 20 cents buys you fish and chips, but it's interesting. Like I still feel like I'm part of the village, cuz.
Yeah.
I am, man. So I realise now, though. But see, I'm 63 years old, so I now realise I'm part of a village, the bigger village. But if I go back to that half caste,
Yes.
so in 1983, I got asked to represent Waikato Māori Rugby League.
Yeah.
So, and I go in as a half caste. I go in with my mother and my father. When I say that, I took them with me in that room, and I get in the room, and I look around the room, and Warren Rangi, Urangi, Johnny Matthews, Ricky, a lot of my superheroes.
Yeah.
They were the guys that I looked up to. Yeah. So they're the guys. I'm in the changing room with them, and I'm scared. Some of these guys have passed. So I'm just being very much so respectful. These were legends of the game from where I come from in the Waikato.
Yeah.
And I don't know who we beat that day in 1983, but we beat them, and we kept the shield for Waikato Māori. Yeah. And the best part about the story was I'm going back because so I go in. So let's start again. So I go back in, and I see all the gear hung up, shorts and jersey. And there's a part of me goes, oh, jeez, shorts are old. Those the jerseys are old. The jerseys might have been 10 or 15 years old, so they've been worn by other players.
Yeah.
By other Māori. And I looked at it and I went, oh, and I guess my half caste background.
Yes.
My half caste background go, where's the new stuff? My half caste background says, where's the new stuff?
Yeah.
And again, I don't know who we beat in 1983, but we beat them and actually, so I got to keep going back again because this is the best part about the story. So not the best part, but another interesting part about the story. So I put the shorts on, and I put the jersey on.
Yeah.
I still today felt like I was a knight in shining armour.
Wow.
So I put the shorts and the shirt on, and I felt like I was bulletproof. A shield. I'd actually realised at the time. I now know that the jersey, the mana that comes with that. So I don't know who wore that jersey before me, but there might have been 15 people wore that jersey before me. I understood the concept of the jersey and the heritage and the respect that I needed to give it. So I don't know who we beat, but I know that we won, and I got hongies.
Wow, yeah.
We got I got hongies. Didn't get no hongies before the game, but I got hongies after the game.
Wow.
And for me, that was a mark of respect. I felt like I'd earned the right to be in the room.
Yeah. So just what, when you guys do a hongi, Mark, what does it mean, like cultural significance of a hongi, just for the audience who might not know?
We share a breath of life.
Yes, breath of life, hongi. Yeah.
So we, when we touch noses, we breathe in, and I share your spirit and you share mine. And it's a...
Wow.
And depending on the person too, so if I do it with Izzy or you, it's a mark of respect. But if I do it with an elder, somebody of a high hierarchy, of a high honour, I would do it long, and I would hold on to him and
wow. That's amazing.
just as long as I can, just because I'm getting the breath of his life. I'm getting that love and adoration that you have for each other. It's just such a mark of respect. So
Oh wow. So why did wrestling come to an end? Was it just like time to move on, or there was no avenue to pursue wrestling, or you know? Yeah. So you were saying the wrestling came to an end, and then.
So 15, I went Disneyland twice.
Yeah.
But I went as a 17-year-old. I went back again to see Mickey Mouse twice.
Okay.
But this time I went to Chicago. I went to the under 20 junior worlds
Oh, as a 17-year-old.
as a 17-year-old.
Were you a big boy always when you were young?
I was
Or-
57 kilos.
You weren't that big.
No,
But you're just tall, eh?
no, I'm same height.
You're 6 foot. Oh, so that time you're 6 foot then?
I told them I was 1.8, but I'm about 1.78. And I was 57 kilos.
Yeah. Wow.
But I
That's something.
was, you couldn't beat me.
Yeah. Who was your other siblings? Anyone else built like you? Like in terms of. So it's only you. I like that.
Yeah, just me and my brother.
Yeah. Okay.
I let my brother beat me once.
Well, you passed it on to Justin, I think, eh? Some of the.
There's got to be some sort of.
He just got the height.
Yeah, so my father's from a long line of tall siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
6 foot siblings. Yeah, so he gets the height from our side of the family.
Yeah. And who pushed you into league? You and friends or?
Yeah, one particular friend.
Yeah.
So I went to the junior worlds, went out straight sets, lost both fights. Don't even remember who I got beat by, but I had the first 2 fights straight out. But I went to Harlem, Chicago when I was 17. Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
did
Twice.
that.
Yeah.
But I can tell the truth. I went to the under 20 junior worlds as a 17.
How was that back then in Harlem?
Think about it.
Yeah.
Just put yourself in Harlem in 1979.
An experience, eh?
Just think about.
I'm maybe thinking about the poverty and the things like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I was okay.
yeah.
See, I didn't see.
You
It's hard,
see
because
that.
you're like, I come from similar, not that bad.
Didn't worry.
but-
about
yeah.
No, I had not one fear of bone in my body.
Yeah.
Not to be mean to the group, but you could imagine
Yeah.
certain players in the group would be terrified, but I was never terrified. No, I was black enough.
So you went to school Hamilton, Mark?
Yeah, Melbourne High, yeah.
Melbourne High. So that was the school. Oh, okay. So
I left when I was 15. I got
15,
kicked out.
finished school? Yeah. Okay. Very good. For fighting or?
I got the cane.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making fun of this teacher. He asked me a really stupid question. I was playing up in class, and he said to me, "How many do you want?"
Yeah.
I said, "That's a stupid question." So he gave me 6. I said it a very different way too. Don't worry about that. But I thought it was a stupid question.
Yeah. So from Melbourne, you went to, what was the next, Mark? Where did you go from there? Like, when did your NRL career sort of start?
So 17,
Yeah.
Melville Old Boys.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine, James Smith,
Yes.
introduced me to rugby league, Hamilton City Tigers. So I went from Melville Old Boys to Hamilton City Tigers. I made a couple of rep teams, about 17, 18 years old, made under 18s, under 19s. But James Smith was the reason. He was he was my best friend.
Is he older than you or similar age? No, same age.
He's a year younger than me.
Oh, you're younger. Okay, so
He
it's hard
passed
to
away
win.
in 91.
Yeah.
He's left us, but
Yeah.
But it
Did
was
you have mentors at that time, like sort of that age? Like, were there people who you look like who guided you or you looked up to, or?
No, it's funny when you're 15. I was no, I don't. Other than my father,
Yeah.
my father just milking cows, hay bales. I said to Dad, when am I going to get the same money as you? He said, when you can lift that hay bale by yourself.
Yeah. So your dad was in the worked on a farm? Or
Yeah,
the farm?
So, but Dad was picked up town milk.
Yeah.
So we go to all the farms. So we to make extra money, we'd have farms where they'd have pigs and cows. So we'd milk cows for extra money. We would do that as a way to make ends meet. But I milk cows. Just hay baling. That was just a way to make extra money. But
Yeah.
But Dad, my dad, probably my hero.
Yeah. And then so we went from there. Then the next team, Auckland, and then from there, did you?
No. So 17 made a Hamilton orange jerseys, under 18s, under 19s maybe.
Yeah.
And then I made Waikato side.
Yeah.
In 1980.
Yeah.
18 and 19 years old. Northern Districts, played Northern Districts a couple of times.
Yeah. And then you came here, like, soon after? Oh, so you're still there? Well,
Yeah, so I'm in the Waikato, and so a really good friend of. So my brother made the Kiwis, 85.
Oh.
So let's go back to 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. I'm playing in the Waikato, playing for Waikato Cougars. And trying to make my way in life, trying to beat Auckland, trying to beat Christchurch, trying to beat the South Island, Northern Districts.
Did they pay money back then? No. It was all for, so you had to work.
All for love.
So another good story. Yeah. For a bottle of piss, for a bottle of beer.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember getting Player of the Year and getting a bottle of like Southern Comfort.
Nice. What did you do as a day job?
I was a rubbish collector.
Ah, yeah. So
Rubbish trucks.
Nice.
I got hit by a car.
Just,
I went to court.
Your
I went to
guardian
court.
angel's still here, mate. You got to
I
give
got
me a
hit by a
life.
car.
What age was this?
Give me a
16,
life.
17.
Give me a life.
So it's
mate.
like I feel like every year there's something's gonna.
Yeah, should have drowned, but my brother saved me.
Oh, what?
Yeah. My brother saved me from Raglan. Yeah.
Okay, so 1985, Mark, and then we're at.
So 85, my brother makes the Kiwis. He goes to tour. I had a Kiwi trial in 85. I played with Dane O'Hara, Fred Arcoy, some really Gary Kimball, Howie Tarmady, and so I played for the rest of the country against Auckland, and we got beat. And I remember talking to Graham Lowe at the time about it, and we had a really good chat. Just not a I'm going to be in the Kiwis, but we had a good chat about my future. And I still remember being nervous, and anyway, so I got past the ball on halfway with the line out. So I catch this ball, I run 50 metres and score. I drop the ball. I dropped my Kiwi jersey that day, and that's how I felt. So anyway, 85, I didn't make the Kiwis. My brother goes to England and France, makes the Kiwis. He comes back, and Ron O'Regan, he made good friends with Ron O'Regan, went away when that. Graham Lowe took the Kiwis away, and he came back, and they brought a guy called John Dobson down to Hamilton at Carcatea Drive, Crystal Glass, and to see if I wanted to go up. And because my brother's a bit of a rat bag, I thought about who's this white fellow with a BMW, and I thought he can't made of the right stuff. But John Dobson and Louise and the family became close personal friends for the last 35 years. I've just recently, 2 years ago, I went back to thank him for giving me a start in life.
Oh, wow, beautiful.
Yeah, I got $1,500 to go play for Tiaratu in 1986.
Yeah. So 86, then how did you end up in Australia?
Wow.
Or what was the story? How did that come about?
Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's funny how it's
Memories.
so 86, Tiaratu, we win everything. Tiaratu,
Okay. Yes.
go up to Auckland, play for Tiaratu Roosters.
Yeah.
Peter Brown, Ron O'Regan, captain. John Dobson, sponsor. Brian Tracy, my coach, great man.
Yeah.
Tracy's wife. We had a really good side that Ronnie had put together with Peter Brown and John. So he got a lot of people together to make this team. So we done it. We beat out Mount Albert and the Fox, and we best team in New Zealand. And then it was just so it went on. And then the next year, 87 just went through the roof.
Yeah.
87, I ended up making the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Beat Australia, and went on 88 World Cup.
Yeah.
89, I didn't make the team to go to England and France again, so didn't make another tour. I didn't make this team to go to Great Britain and France. They didn't want me, so I got a little bit, had a little bit of a cry.
And how'd you get to Australia? So after that, didn't make the team?
Didn't make the Kiwis in 89. They went to England and France again, and went down as one of the best tours ever. And the coach rang me to say that I wasn't going again. These people are past now, so I want to be very respectful too. So he didn't make it, and I get angry and he did a little bit of cry. But they went away, and they didn't do particularly well. But it was just one of those things. But anyway, long story short, I ended up in Australia in 89, and I went to Newcastle. Sam Stewart gave me a chance at Newcastle, trained at Newcastle. Yeah. Just training there for 2 weeks, and I remember we had to run out to a lighthouse. Yeah. This lighthouse was like 8 k's away. Yeah. I was last, and everything. I was last, and everything. I still remember.
Yeah. The culture shock. Did you notice? Was there a big difference between the mentality, the mental side of Australia and New Zealand when you came over?
Yep. We had a medicine ball. I remember Alan McMahon and there's another guy, Alan Bell. We were so they were training us. We had a medicine ball, and I had to hold a medicine ball, a little left, big right, and we did that for 2 hours. A little right, big left, and all little left, big right. So it was teaching us to do a step.
Yeah.
A step that I thought come naturally, but being a young Māori boy, you stepped everybody, you stepped the whole village. But they were actually had been. We did this for 2 hours, and then we would. Yeah, that's after running to a lighthouse that was 55 k's away.
Wow.
So it's funny because I was last there. I had a transfer fee on me because I'd already played for the Kiwis. New Zealand Rugby League had put a transfer fee. It was an exorbitant transfer fee, so Newcastle couldn't afford to pay the transfer fee. So I ended up at Penrith.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so ended up at Penrith in 1990. Lost a couple of brain cells, but Gus took over.
Yeah. That's what.
Ron Willie. So Ron Willie was the coach, and then he lost the job to Phil Gould, and then Phil Gould.
You've known him for a while.
Yeah. So he didn't want me.
Yeah.
So he didn't want me in 1990. So they had a wonderful side, but they went on in 91.
That's the Fiddler one,
Yeah. Mate, they had a great side. Yeah. So look, I was trying to find my way, and again there was an exorbitant transfer fee. So if you wanted me to play for you, it was going to cost you $50,000.
Yeah.
It was just too much for teams to pay. So I ended up at Parramatta in 1990, and we came to a deal that I paid for my own transfer fee.
Oh wow! And who pushed you to come over here? Who pushed you from New Zealand to come?
Me.
You, okay. You seen the competition here? Was it just opportunity? What was that?
I didn't make the Kiwis in '89.
Yes, yeah.
and Sam Stewart said to me that he felt that I was good enough.
Yeah.
Going to Newcastle, knowing that I had a transfer fee on me, so I had this $50,000 transfer fee on me. It's a 13-year-old.
Yeah. Okay.
Wrestling that 15-year-old.
Yeah.
I had these barriers, but I was going to break them all down no matter what. So pay my own transfer fee.
Yeah. Wow.
So I ended up having
from a bottle of Southern Comfort, to having to pay your own transfer fee. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Okay. So you ended up at Parramatta.
Parramatta, yep.
And how many years were you at Para?
5 years.
And was it a good contract?
Great contract.
Yeah. Was it enough to sort of set you up if you had?
I bought my
managed?
first.
You bought your first house too. Oh wow!
So I bought a house for $138,091.
Were you already married that time?
Yeah, loved my life. I met
Millie,
Millie in 1982.
82.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was getting thrown out of a nightclub in 83 when she gave me a ride home. I won the fight too.
Yeah, nice. Very good. You wrestled him down.
No, we had a punch up.
Oh,
Tables, chairs. They banned me for life. And their band's still going.
So was wrestling a prominent part of the game when you started? Like in terms of...
No.
No, so wrestling never... But you had the wrestling background, eh?
No, but nobody knew.
No one knew.
No,
Yeah.
no. Even now, like I could wrestle you now, Joe, and you couldn't get up.
Wow.
I could tackle you now.
I want to see it.
No. On you, mate.
We'll do it on the table right now.
I could hold you down and you both couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay.
True story. I'm still that good.
I don't want.
I believe you.
Yeah,
You already got me on the arm wrestling.
Yeah, it's still right today. I'll tell you what, I would throw that out there to a challenge to anybody. It's funny. Like it's a
What were some of the highlights of your career, Mark? Like when you're in rugby league, what were some of the standout moments for you?
Hamilton City Tigers.
Hamilton, yep.
We beat Tanny-Whanau in a Waikato grand final.
Yeah.
That was a huge moment. We beat Tanny. All my idols were on the other team.
Yeah.
Sonny Martinga was on the other side too. He was my another superhero idol. I won that when I was in 1982, 1983, and then 86 being the best team in New Zealand with Te Atatu Roosters under Brian Tracy and John Dobson. Beating Australia in 87, playing at Eden Park in 88.
Wow, there's a lot there, man.
95 World Cup.
Yeah.
Been to America twice as a 15 and 17-year-old. Been a New Zealand champion at 13.
Yeah. So sports, it's a great avenue, for us as a people. Like I feel like, when you're in New Zealand, you're sort of doing it because the group camaraderie.
Especially back in those days. Yeah.
But
Black and white TV.
Yeah.
I remember my dad said the All Blacks are playing South Africa. Brian Williams, Sid going, and we'd have to get up and watch them play South Africa, and be 3 o'clock in the morning. Get up and we'd watch the All Blacks. But I remember getting up and wanting to be an All Black. Yeah, everybody wants to be an All Black.
Yeah.
What do you think the main difference is in terms of why they so advanced here in Australia in terms of rugby league as compared to New Zealand? Is it the infrastructure? Is it the clubs? Economic? Is it what is it like? 'Cause demographic. Not enough people, eh?
No, demographic. So
like-
the people that play rugby here and the people that play rugby in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So you think about we're all farmers and cattlemen and everything in New Zealand, but everybody wants to grow up being All Black.
Yeah.
Everybody here wants to grow up and be a kangaroo.
Yeah. So you know how the league like you were playing for $100 or whatever a match in New Zealand, then you all of a sudden you come to Australia, it's a $50,000 transfer fee.
Yeah.
That gap between New Zealand and Australia, what is it? Is it?
It's in your brain.
Is it? You think? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're still sort of there, right? A lot of the players come here to
The gap is in your brain.
Okay.
The gap is
That's
that
interesting,
15-year-old boy. So
what can they do you reckon in New Zealand just to close the gap, to have more teams, to have
close the gap. So the Warriors have to be very successful.
yeah.
You know, when you think about the Warriors up the Wars,
Yeah.
not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
So it's the first time in maybe 100 years that the most popular team in New Zealand was the New Zealand Warriors, not the All Blacks.
Yeah, okay.
And the All Blacks went through a bit of a restructure themselves. So, you know, Scott's got them back on deck again. But it's interesting that I feel like, you know, that the room changed. The foundations of New Zealand had literally changed. So that's what needs to happen. So we need a very successful rugby league team.
Okay. But there's so many players, not enough teams to go to, you know, in terms of development squads and
Doesn't matter.
in our teams. So where would they go and be in New Zealand, you know? Like,
So we need to go to the South Island.
yeah. Yeah. And it's been a long time. I mean, since you've been playing, there's still no second team, so it's like, you know.
I love what they're doing here. So it's
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to see. What's the difference between here and there? Why do we have to come here? You know?
I don't want to be mean to New Zealand, but
Yeah.
if you make us strong, is that good for the game or bad for the game? So if you
Yeah,
have
okay.
two Warrior teams that were as good as each other, and does that
It'd be good for the game, I think.
yeah, but does that distract from WA? Does that distract from Adelaide? Does that distract from North Queensland Cowboys? So when I'm thinking when I build this model, Ed, do you want to play football? So you know, you just go ask the South Island if they want to play football. So you got to really sit down and go through the dynamics and just marketing. You know, is this, you're going to have a good team? Is everything going to be right? Are you going to have the right players? And I don't think it's that simple. So I think the game here has got a great construct now. They just got to just buy their time.
Is New Zealand's too small, you reckon?
No, they can have two teams.
Okay. Yeah.
That's big enough for rugby.
Yeah.
You got
true,
the All Blacks.
Yeah, and you
But
got
like
a lot
what
of
you
teams
said,
up there,
it's-
right? Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Okay,
it's
when
up
you say
here, right?
that- Yeah, when
That's
you say
the
that,
difference.
Yes.
that just clicked to me because you got
it's
so many
up here.
rugby union teams.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're so competitive on the global scale.
What's the
and-
difference?
Yeah.
It's just up here, you
Yeah,
know.
wow.
You can have guys come over here
Interesting
and
when
kill
you say
it
that,
in like some of
yeah.
the top teams in Australia, you know, like
Because now there's a
Sean
few
John-
Pacific teams, so the Pacific team's got the same amount of teams, like as you know. So it's interesting. Yeah, okay.
I'd love to see who writes the business model for the NRL when you think about what they're doing. So I feel like the game it's protecting itself.
Yeah, you needed to.
And so, Mark, so home ownership from being at Parramatta, you had enough to while you sort of now. What was that like? That experience of earning the money and all this fame, and you know, becoming a superstar and. How would you now? I know because you're in reflection mode now, and you sort of have thought about it over the years. But I guess at the time, can you remember how you know?
Can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
So the good thing about this show
Yeah.
is you need a village.
Yes.
So I had people that were supporting me, but didn't have my best interests.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I had my time all over again, I'd go back to that boy, that young boy, and I'd do it for the same reasons.
Yeah.
But I would make sure that I kept my house. I would make sure that I wouldn't buy a club sport.
Yeah.
I would make some very, very different financial decisions.
Okay. Do you think it's changed in terms of landscape of what's available for help for the kids and for the younger boys now playing the game, or?
No.
Oh wow, really? Did you?
In what way?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what
The
do you
village
mean?
is still the village.
Yeah, it's still no. Yeah. Okay.
See, there's not enough people out there, Joe, people like yourself that have got some financial background and nous.
Yeah.
I think the trouble with the village
Yeah.
is we don't. We've got. I'd rather pull you down rather than lift you up. And we've got, you know, and whether you're Samoan, Tongan, Maori, we're quite happy. We're quite happy. Another blackface.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
blackface. Pull that blackface down. We've got such a. But I think that's colonialism. I think that's a way. We don't want too many black faces. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sort of going around in circles.
Sort of get it.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. It's like it's that whole, you know, you have a crab in the pot, and everyone's trying to get out of the pot.
Yes.
You're a crab, but you're just grabbing and you're pulling each other down, trying to get out of the same
Yes.
thing.
100%.
So you can't
Great
escape.
analogy. See, the good thing about this, doing this now, and this is my second or third time talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Can you help me with money?
Yeah.
I said to a guy the other day, "Can you help me with money?" He said, "You want to go back? You want to go back to the future?" I'm really going to swear this. Look, I don't want to go back to the future. So if you want to help young Pacific Islanders now, there's a real need for financial advice.
Yeah.
So I bought a house. Asked me what I did with the house.
What'd you do?
I lost it.
How?
I left family in there rent free.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do, right? Because one person makes it and everyone.
No.
Why?
But why do we do that? That's
Why
right.
do you-
That's the
No.
village life, you know.
Yeah, but see, that's but now we do.
Yeah, but
There's one house less in the village.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I would do differently now is I would set up a. So this is where the park here.
Yeah.
This is the colonial way. So I get you to look after my house for me. But I pay you to look after my house for me because I can't trust me to look after my house.
Yeah.
But Nesian Money Show, we can look after the house.
Yeah.
How much do you want for the house? So I wanted a certain amount of rent
Yeah.
to pay my bills, and
Yeah. Yeah.
they haven't been paying.
Yeah.
It's interesting now what I would do different. The other thing too is
I think you mentioned this to me, Mark, and at the time because they weren't paying, and by the time you lifted a little bit, but what was something that you could have easily approached the bank and maybe resolved it. But what was that? Was it embarrassment? Was it?
I didn't know.
Didn't know. Oh wow, I just didn't know.
I went to the bank to tell them that I was broke.
Yeah.
I had to prove that I was that broke.
Yeah.
I was $8,000 short on the sale of the property.
Yeah. Okay.
I needed 100.
That's not much. We could have fixed it. You know.
No shit.
Yeah.
So the beautiful part is the beautiful part about the village. The beautiful part about the Nesian Money Show. If you're going to lose your house, you can save your house too. You don't have to. You know, I know what I know now.
Yes. Yeah. But that's what I think. I see what you meant now. You didn't have that
2007.
people- Yeah. You didn't have. Oh, 7. Okay. It's not really that long ago.
How long have you been doing money now?
Since about 7. It started then. Yeah.
I think the thing that sort of rocks my world too is that
Yeah.
if I know what I know now.
Yeah. Yeah. But you retired much later than most people, and you had a longer career than most other people, like the athletes back then. Or when that was that. The playing age was quite old, but like you know.
I debuted at 27.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So you had a bit of a span there, mate.
I only played till I was 35.
Early, but that's like today's age. That's the limit, like 33. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
but so you did all right for back then, you know. Or was that normal? Like a lot of
No, I was not normal.
No, okay.
No, it was.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Debuting. So they talk about players debuting. So I was
17, 18. That's why when I was asking 18, how did you? And you went 85, 86. You're still not in Australia yet. So 27. Wow. Kids already back then? 27?
One.
Okay.
Had my other two boys, 93, 94.
Okay. Over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's it's when you see it's interesting. I looked at the questions you gave me, and it's just it's what if I know what I know now.
Yeah.
If I knew Joe Swami in 2007, and hey Joe, I think I might be losing my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yeah. Of course we can. Let's have a look. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Look at the options.
Who do I ask?
Yeah, I find this is it's still an issue today, you know, for us having that confidence to be able to reach out to someone or trust somebody, you know, that we can ask and feel not judged or.
But I think sometimes life, you know, even for you, you know now that the mistakes that's happened, and you can sort of, you know, give us the insight into it. And
Yep.
Yeah, so you had an
yeah.
accountant, you had
Yep.
who helped you buy the house? Was it just you just looked for it and someone at the bank got the loan and you gave some paperwork?
So the good thing about what we're talking about, so we over here is a pot of gold, and that pot of gold should have been 10 pots of gold.
Yeah.
I got a club sport, and I drove it out of the showroom in 1990.
Yeah. It was yellow. It was yellow.
No, that was an ugly yellow one that I've done. I bought a black HSV, $47,000.
Wow.
I bought a car for 138. I bought a car for 47.
Wow. Could have bought a house.
I sold
So
it for
what-
25,000.
you got the yellow one and then the black one.
The yellow one I got told off for the yellow one, and that's I had to give it back, and I got it. No, but I ended up buying a brand new one in 1990. I drove it out of Blackdown City Holden for 47 grand.
Is that enough? Could you have bought a new one? I mean, so could you have bought a house instead of the car for that much?
Okay, not start over again.
Yeah.
So let's go back to 1990. So ask me about 1990. So what? You
Yeah.
got my contract? Okay.
Yeah. 1990, yeah. Signed
Okay.
with.
Parramatta.
Parramatta,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bought my first house.
Yeah.
And I would have just bought a shitty car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bought a $47,000 club sport. I would have invested in another house. I had a really good friend of mine that was really smart. That a group of friends invested in properties.
Yes.
So they were millionaires by the time they were 5 years from now. So that's the. But I tried to go down that track, but I was too much in a hurry to be the next
Thing, yeah. What is that? Is that people around you who give you that ego? Is it ego? Is it?
Oh, it's ego.
Yeah.
What? Who buys a $47,000 club sport? That's the biggest ego in the world. I drove. I took that car 220 kilometres an hour.
Yeah. So Mark, we were just talking earlier. I think you mentioned with the village. When we talk about this village concept, we'll go on to the financial questions in a second. But when we're talking about the village, for you, what was you draw the picture a bit earlier, and I think that really, like, for me, I think you encapsulate like what we sort of, you know.
So that circle, Nesian Money Show.
Yes, that's great.
Champion Pacifica businesses.
Yeah.
So every Pacific nation goes inside that circle.
Yes.
Tonga,
Yes.
Samoa, Indigenous, Maori, Australian, doesn't Fijian.
Yeah.
Everybody goes inside that circle. So it's any brother
Yeah.
that needs help that is of Polynesian background.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So with financial responsibility, Mark, you were just talking earlier, with more money comes a lot of financial responsibility. Were you weren't equipped for that, from what I gather, you know, that financial responsibility from going, you know, from a substantial increase in income.
Yep. So went from earning $1,500 a year to $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
But nobody gave me a degree in money. So I knew that if I picked up that hay bale in 1981, I just throw it on my knee to get it up to the trailer.
Yeah.
But then we got an elevator. We put them on an elevator. So just seemed though that if I put it on my knee, that I could lift it myself and I get the same money as my father. But what do I do with $50,000? What do you do when you're a young Maori boy and you get $50,000 for the first time?
Yeah.
I play catch up.
Yeah. Were there many other Kiwis here playing at that time?
No.
Yeah. Wow. Culture shock. Was it culture shock or not really? You by that time?
No.
Yeah.
About 10 of us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So the culture shock too is so you get drawn into another culture.
Yeah.
So it's a drinking culture, or it's a very, very different.
Yeah.
Did you have managers back then at all, or was it all personal?
I did it on my own.
You did it on your own. Yeah.
Why did I do it on my own?
Couldn't trust anyone.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. Why did you feel like that? Because you got the Aussie players doing well, and Just couldn't trust anyone. No one that sort of could resonate with you, explain things to you in a way you could understand, or was it our culture?
Or
was it our
did
upbringing?
everyone have managers at that time? Like even for
Yeah.
yeah, right, okay,
I did on my own.
yeah.
I had a bit of a run-in with a couple of managers, but it's just there.
Yeah.
So I look back and hindsight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Hindsight. It's So I want to look back now. So if it's 1990, I've just signed a great contract with Parramatta. I wouldn't necessarily get a player manager, but I'd get a financial person that would come and help me.
A coach, a financial coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I buy a $40,000 club sport?
Yes.
In your opinion,
Yeah. No, not at that age.
why not?
Because you can invest in your future first until you have the income.
What future?
Your future that's going to happen. That's going to come. Financial future. Sorry. What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
in your
I'm
financial
trying to be
future.
mean. So,
Yeah.
so I don't trust you.
Yeah. I'll show you the numbers and I'll have it all written out and I'll show you
So
the exact numbers.
yeah, that's it. So
I'll
I
be
need
transparent.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
I need the maths.
Yeah, I'll show you the maths. I'll show you then you make a decision. It's up to you. Like I'm showing you
No.
everything. Yeah.
Joe,
No?
let's put it
No?
around the other way.
No,
You got
okay.
$50,000 rent. Joe,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your money?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to buy a car. It's a 40,000.
What sort of car?
A club sport.
Why?
It looks cool. I need it. Oh, my friends, all my friends are getting one. Yeah.
Your friends broke?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So if I
Gotta be that. stern, No,
flip it. Let's roll. Let's do a bit of role
No,
play.
that's good, man. Because like for me, I'm still like I'm scared of like that. Like I'll just let you make the decision you want to make, even though I'm the professional, knowing that.
You're not buying the car.
Yeah, yeah.
What I will do though is set you up for the next 5 years.
I should be
that
that
you-
direct day. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we all need it.
Yeah. I think that's a respect thing because, like I always.
You're giving that 15-year-old too much credit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think you are. You're definitely right.
First round, the only way I beat him was I didn't stop giving him credit.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what we're going to do is we're going to put a plan together, a financial plan for you to set yourself up for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Look, what we'll do though is we'll make sure that next 3 years you pinpoint what you need to do. You're not going to go without. You're not going to, you're going to have bread and food on the table. You'll be able to live a reasonable life. Yeah. But I'd like to think that you're going to have grandkids one day, and you're going to set yourself up so you have to think about the future, not 25 years time, but in the next maybe 5 to 10 years. Have you got a 10-year plan?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Let's do that. Let's set up
show
for
me,
the next 5 years.
Yeah,
let's
okay.
do something. Let's do a 5-year plan. You're not going to buy that car. I won't let you buy that car. We'll buy something nice for you, but we won't buy that.
Yeah. That's what I like about you, Mark. You've always had that attitude of never give up, like it's never too late, and you're always a solution finder. So it's sort of like, see that does that come from football and your sports and your competitiveness?
Comes from that lady that slept on the mat when I was 13.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't care whether you win or lose. You just know how to not try.
Yeah.
So I think that boy that beat that 15-year-old is still alive and kicking.
Nice.
So I lost the house, but I didn't lose my integrity.
Beautiful, man. That's and that's. I think that for me in our culture, I feel like that's a big thing. To keep that.
I walk my dogs down here.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a Range Rover, but I got to walk my dogs down here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mike. So how did you? So after footy, you got into. What was the work life like? Like to hit what reality shock to start work? Was it a shock?
So you think football? You think football and financial planning is hard?
Yeah.
Go into business.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more ruthless.
Yeah.
I thought the football field was ruthless because I was an amateur wrestler. Joe, I could still tackle you now and hold you down. There's 400 movements in a game, and I reckon I can still win 300 movements.
Yeah.
But the business world is more cutthroat than the rugby league world.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not fair. But the people that make money, the people that make money in the business world will cut you up and spit you out.
Yeah, of course, man. It's
No, you don't have to be that way.
Yeah.
I refuse to.
I agree. I'm the same too. Yeah. I don't like to. Yeah, it doesn't have to be cutthroat.
No,
it doesn't have to be.
What challenges did you face?
So in business, I didn't understand how business worked.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the concept, so I'm not going to throw. I've had 5 goes at business. I failed all 5 times, but geez, it's interesting how that works. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
So you finished footy, and then was the chemical business what you got into straight away, or?
Yep. So I've been doing chemicals since 1989.
Wow.
So every Monday morning I'm broke.
Yeah.
I've been a commission-only salesman since 1989
Whilst playing footy.
while playing footy.
Yeah.
Am I
Very good.
gonna call this episode the dark side of footy?
So every Monday morning I had to earn another $1.
Yeah.
Every Monday since 1989.
Wow.
Commission only, and I'm still commission. I'm still commission only.
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm still that 13-year-old kid.
Yeah. You enjoy it, Mark?
I love it.
Yeah.
So I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I choose
Your
my own
flexibility.
life. I've got flexibility. I love what I do. I love going to help the community. I have products that I can solve.
Yeah.
We're the first company in Australia to get to solve COVID.
Yeah. 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 Okay. With the chemicals, yeah. And what's it like, sort of like becoming a grandparent? Like, so in amongst all this, then you become a grandparent. What was that like? I think for me, what more talking to you now, I start seeing the maturity. Like, there's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of like the grandchildren is giving you another purpose. So
when my grandson woke me up in October 13, what a terrible number, 13, chopped off a finger. So he woke me.
that's right. That's right.
I had a
He's
hernia.
still walking around like it was nothing.
Had a hernia. Should have bled to death in the inside.
That was
And I chopped it off on my wedding anniversary.
What?
yeah.
So that I was
wedding.
34 years being married, and I've got 3/4 of a wedding finger left. Work that out. It's geez, I lost the question.
Yeah. No, like the grandchildren, you know, because
My grandson and Millie came in
Yeah.
to the room. My grandson, my son and his wife are staying with me at the moment, Nikki and Jaden.
Yeah.
And I taken a phone call in the morning,
Yeah.
and I woken up with a bit of pins and needles on my left hand side, and didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So my grandson come in, he said, "Poppy, want to go for a walk? Walkies, calls it walkies." And I went, "Yeah, okay." I said to Millie, I said, "Don't feel right." I had these pins and needles. So I was actually having a call a TIA. I was having a stroke, but I don't know. So I'm shaking it off. I'm shaking it off. Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
Fucking Navy SEAL. I get up and make my bed. I got up and made my bed. Pulled the bed out, flapped it, boom, made the bed. Walked down to the lounge. There's a lounge area that's got a step like up here, like that step like that.
Yeah.
There's a step like out the back there. So I walk down. On the way back, I pick up a bag of clothes and I kick the step. Red flag number 2. Pins and needles, coordination.
Yeah.
So I just smell something. I don't think I'm well. So my daughter-in-law rings Wentworthville Hospital, the emergency medical centre in Wentworthville, Station Street.
Yeah.
And I end up, so 8:30 in the morning, my grandson comes to walk. I get down to the medical centre about 11 o'clock and I cry in the ambulance. So they call an ambulance because I try to.
Yeah, the doctor didn't tell you. He's trying to keep you calm.
Yeah, so he didn't realize. He saw that my blood pressure was over the top. So it's a crisis at 180 blood pressure. Jeez. In the ambulance, mine was 205. So I was having a stroke at 11:30.
Yeah.
I cried in the ambulance. I've probably cried about 4 times in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark. So that's so if I'd interest, it's been has it gone quick? The time, does it feel like it's gone quick? Like from leaving New Zealand to.
So my grandson wakes me up, so I'm going to let him know too that he saved my life. When he woke me up for walkies at 8:30 in the morning, he doesn't realise that I might not have woken up. So if he doesn't wake me up for a walk, I die in my sleep. Oof. It's a blood clot in the brain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gee. How you feel now? You're good. You look fine.
I'll wrestle you now.
Huh? Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm still worried about this guy, man.
I'm up at the Nines, up at the Gold Coast, and I wanted to play.
Yeah.
I'm lucky because that 13-year-old boy's still alive and well in me.
Yeah.
That 13-year-old kid hasn't grown up.
Yeah.
He still sees 15-year-olds as a memento. It's so.
And you're still involved in, I guess, a lot of with the Maoris and with some of the. Are you going to do anything this year? Are you going to?
No, I got kicked out of the Maoris and I got kicked out of the Kiwis.
Yes, someone's going to pick you up. Don't worry.
So when I had the stroke,
Yeah.
I resigned from all capacities of rugby league.
Okay.
Anything that I do is a Tihoi Māori team back home.
Yeah. Okay.
And so my first year, we didn't do particularly well the first year, but we've done pretty well the last couple of years. But that's what I do. That's my saving grace. That's my rugby league. That's my my love child.
Yes. Did you? Oh man, someone. There'll be something come up. I know definitely. You know how it is. You'll always be doing something. I know that in the footy space. Did you? So in terms of, did it come fast the time? Like when, from the guy at Parramatta to, grown children, grandchildren. Did it go fast for you?
I still think of that. When you hear me. An hour ago, talking about that 13-year-old boy down at Christchurch on a friendship.
Yeah, you can still remember it vividly. Yeah,
I know my mum. She slapped the match. She
Yeah.
Did you fucking give in?
yeah,
And I've never given in. So falling out of a car, still alive. Chopped off a finger, still alive. Fall 90 feet, still alive.
yeah,
Should have drowned, still alive.
yeah,
On top of the car, still alive.
yeah.
I feel like I've got a guardian angel, and
You
so,
do.
I'm protected. But it's interesting. That kid still needs advice.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that 13-year-old. If I this is what I'm doing it for. I'm letting the next Mark Horo that comes over, 18 years old. I'm helping our family at the moment. He's a pretty smart man. I'm not going to name names tonight, but I'm helping young guys now do that. I did house parenting since 2003
yeah.
to 2019.
Wow.
And what's that?
So it's called house parenting. So what I do is you come over from Fiji or New Zealand and you're looking for a place to stay. You stay with me and I protect you for the next 2 years and then send you out to the world with some skills, how to wash, iron, clean and cook. So but I also taught you how to be a good human being. So that's what we did for the last year.
Yeah. This is the kind of things I want to highlight. You know that what Mark's been doing, but it's
that was part of the rugby league program, or was it just a part of the Parramatta? Yeah.
Parramatta, So they wanted me to look after players. I looked after Jared Hayne, Ben Smith, Ben Farah, Daniel Mortimer.
Jeez, big names come through the house.
We had some wonderful players.
But when they're young, that's when they're just starting out. They don't really have anything.
Isaiah
no
Young?
contract. Yeah.
Right.
Who's your favourite?
I don't have a favourite. It's funny.
Did your children, all of your children, play footy, or?
Yep.
All the boys, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Follow dad. Was it? Did they love it, or did they choose to do it, or was that something you?
I don't know. That's a podcast for them.
Okay. Yeah.
When I think about my three, I raised three wonderful young men.
Beautiful. That's
And my favourite toy is the one standing in front of me.
Yeah.
That's right. It's interesting how it works here.
What are some key life lessons or words of wisdom you would share with your younger self?
My strength is not the strength of one, but it's the strength of many.
Ah, wow. Cool.
The village. If I look back on my time now, that young Māori boy, he would go to the village and ask somebody for help.
Yeah.
Another good one is fight like a hammerhead, don't die like an octopus. A hammerhead, you can chop off its head and its heart still beats. Whereas an octopus, you put a line over the side and the octopus will almost pretend it's dead. It's almost dead. But my strength is the strength of one. My strength is not the strength of one, but it is the strength of many.
You can see that through your journey,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What does retirement look like for you, Mark? In terms of
I'm not
like,
gonna
is there
retire.
such a thing as retirement? Like,
No,
yeah,
it's
what is this mentality of?
I'm
Yeah.
that 13-year-old boy, and I
Yeah.
won't grow up.
Okay, good, perfect.
My mum's slapping them out now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I see myself. I see this as a catalyst for change.
yeah,
When the community out there needs to look at, like you and Izzy and Anne, and look for people for guidance.
yeah,
Can you give me a plan for the next 12 months? Can you give me a plan for the next 3 years? Can you give me a 25-year plan? Can you tell me, can I buy that club sport?
yeah, 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 of course.
No.
Yeah.
Izzy, you're not going to buy it. You really need it? No, you don't. So real strong financial advice.
Yeah,
How you going? You know the difference between us, everybody else? We mean it.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
When I guess I think society's...
We say so directly, Mark. You know, I feel like the way you articulate it, you've had so much thought about it that you're coming from the real place. You know, like, because I'm always I'm careful about what I say because I don't want to get
Yep.
him thinking that I'm trying to sell something to him or whatever. But I mean what you're saying. Like what you're saying is what I'm
100%.
trying to say. Like, you know.
So if we want to help people, right?
Yeah.
Can I help you? Can I help you? It's the tone. It's people out there need us.
That experience. Yeah.
People out there need help financially. They need to be able to get a better interest rate. They need to keep their house. They want to buy another house.
Yeah.
It's just so much. It's just the world is and it's a melting pot.
Yeah. Has technology helped you as you've gotten older in terms of information, like YouTube and?
No, my mum's still slapping them out. I don't think that boy's ever grown up. I think that boy that saw that 15-year-old, I'm still gonna kick his ass. I gave him too much start the first round.
Yeah.
I couldn't pin him,
Yeah.
but I beat him.
Yeah.
38 kilos. It's like so that my mum's that club sport. Don't you buy that bloody club sport? Don't you? And I feel like with my parents too. I said sorry to my dad. I said, "Oh, when you see mum, tell her I said sorry for being a little shit of a kid." There's so much in the community,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be a rugby league player to need help too.
No.
Yeah. 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 That's right. Yeah. I think the majority of us are not rugby league players. So, you know, that's, and then, so your kids, do you feel like, because with me, my parents came over, they sort of tried to, they work 2-3 jobs, trying to set us up, give us an education. I guess do you think you could you have done that in New Zealand for your children, the same sort of, was it a sacrifice for you to come over or not really?
Oh.
Yeah. Was it a sacrifice? Or?
Yeah, it was a huge. There's a little bit of my ego. I didn't make the Kiwis in '89,
Yeah.
so I wanted to prove that I still got it. And I thought to myself, who tries to be an NRL player at 27?
Yeah.
But I did it. I trained. I still remember Mick Cronin saying to me, he said, "If you can play as half as good as you can train." I've out-trained everybody. But some advice along the way. If I had better advice along the way, when I bought the club sport, I should have. My boss, my accountant, should have said no.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think it is with? Because I often think about, man, there's so many professionals involved in these games and who know these players, who are associated, clubs are linked to them. Why then are we still having all these issues, of mismanagement of money or still ending up broke at retirement? Why would it happen? Is it? Are we? Yeah, it's the right. Yeah, I think.
So when you think about this village, right? You think about that village.
Yeah.
So we're Fijian and Māori.
Yeah.
So we need brothers from Tongan background,
Yeah.
Samoan background, Cook Island background. So all the brothers from all parts of the village.
Yeah.
A brother looks after superannuation. He's Cook Islander.
Yes.
With another brother, he's Samoan. He looks after financial stuff. So yeah, he's really, really good too.
Yeah,
And he'll be spot on for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got to connect the dots up. When you think about the dots, I've got some really beautiful Fijian friends, Joe. You'd be grateful.
Yes.
They want a club sport.
Yeah, and that's the thing, eh? Yeah, because we've done, I think, in the past we've had a lot of Pacific professionals who've sort of, you always hear the bad stories, Mark. He's taken off with the money, that guy's done this, he's done that, and that real estate agent ripped me off, he's from Samoa or whatever, have we given ourselves a bad rep?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do it, and we don't do it intentionally.
Yeah, okay.
But it's something that so it's easier to pull a brown face down than to pull a white face.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, of course,
I got about 10 white faces I want to pull down, but I'm on live air. So there's not one brown face since 1989. Not one brown face.
Yeah, because you sincerely, even if they did something, it wasn't intentional. I think I know
Exactly.
meaning. Yeah, it's not.
All the brown people,
No.
they jumped in the club sport with me. I have my whole family in the club sport.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
How important is or what's your view on wealth and legacy? I guess.
Wow. You got another podcast?
Yeah, we do.
So wealth to me is love.
Yeah. Okay.
Love and legacy is the same thing. So I'm not going to be around forever.
I like that, Mark. Wow.
I'm not going to be around. But when you come to my tangi,
Yeah.
man, he was a good man.
Yes.
He shouldn't have bought a club sport. You'll be able to laugh.
Yeah, man, I love it now. I can see it now.
I love mowing my lawns.
Yeah.
But I love my grandkids. I love my wife. I love what I do. That's my legacy.
Yeah. Wow, awesome. Oh, that's Mark. I like it. I think we're gonna wrap it up on that note. We've got a lot of little things, but it's kidding. Like, I like the way your analogies of how we need to get you to do something. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to figure out how we're gonna put it together. But I think I see it more clearly now. You're the coach. You're the financial coach because you've got the experience. You tell them directly, don't buy their club sport. No, don't, and they'll listen to you because you've been through it and you're genuine.
Yeah.
I drove out with all my family in the club sport from Blacktown. So I'm going to do. We're going to do that self-managed super fund. So I'm going to get that self-managed super fund. I'm going to get that off the ground. I got to give the tax department $1,500, but I'm going to work that shit out. So there's a lot of people out there that in our community that can do a self-managed super fund. So we'll do that. I'll get that going and I'll figure that shit out.
Yeah, for sure.
So Mark, thank you so much for your time tonight, Mark. I know, taking out your time from the grandchildren and from your day.
Save my life.
Yeah, that's right. So have more.
I can't wait for more.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we're grateful to have you here.
I'm grateful to be here. You'd be surprised how, not surprised, but it'd be how endearing this is. It's medicine.
Yeah.
You go to the cupboard to get some Panadol, but this is mana making medicine for me. To tell stories of failures are good.
Yeah.
So I think about the Maori boy that bought the club sport, but I had 3 people that I know that should have said no. 3 people that I would have thought they were friends.
It's amazing, Mark. The tone of the conversation today is not really what I like. Because I think you flipped it on me again. I'm like, shit. But now it makes sense to me in a way. It's like, wow, okay, cool. Because this is the part. This is the confidence part.
And this is what's going to change it, bro. You need to talk about this.
Yeah.
The house,
amazing.
2007.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have known.
No.
Yeah.
So I was right in the middle. Me and Millie were going to break up. We were, we're at loggerheads. We just fell out of love, and that was a financial strain on us.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the big courses, financial strain and separation, where it shouldn't be, but it is.
Have you made it through?
100%. See, money isn't evil.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
People. There's
no.
people out there that just
Have the sinful nature.
Well, I think with money too. I gave a young busker in Auckland about 3 years ago, $50.
Yeah.
It was only $50 in my wallet.
Mm.
I was broke. But I gave on the side of the road, guys, when they're doing you're doing your windshields,
Yeah.
gave them $10, just last $10. But just pay for some McDonald's in Green Lane.
You got the rear view mirror?
That's the best. So I got I looked after somebody in New Zealand in a Māori tournament, and the man gave me $100. And I didn't know what to do with it. And so I'm going to try and make this story as short as possible. So he gave me $100 for his accommodation, but he didn't have to pay for his accommodation, but he wanted to give me a koha. So I went and I asked different people, so people smarter than me, what do I do with $100? And they said, I don't know, but nobody wanted to take it, but nobody wanted to do anything about it. And I said, oh, sweet. So what do I do with this $100 that I was given as a koha? And I didn't want to give it to the people that did the accommodation too, because it had already been paid for. Everything had been paid for. But I felt this man had given me this money out of his mana and love. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, I get to Pocono and in New Zealand, and I see a guy, a beggar on the side of the road, and he's selling artifacts. So everything on this table was for sale, and he was sitting there with everything was on the table for sale. And I went, now I know what to do with that money. So I give him the $100. And he said, what do you want? I said, no, it's for you. And I went, and my heart still beats strongly, because it was the right thing to do with the $100 that was given to me. So I passed the koha on. But I got in the car. I got in the car. In the part that still resonates, I got in the car and looked in the rearview mirror, and he did this. He looked back. I still see him. I gave him the $100, and he looked to see which car I was in, and I still look in the rearview mirror, and I still see that. I still see that face. That means that's the money show. That's the people we are.
Yeah.
Koha. And I still remember him turning around.
Yeah.
It was that fella just gave me.
Awesome, man. Well, that's a good note to end on, man.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a high. That's a high we can finish off from all that. But Mark, thank you so much, man, for coming on tonight, and I'm sure we'll have many more chats, man. And I can see the maturity, the wisdom. I think I feel like you're at the next stage of your life where it's just gone from that one to gone even more to the next stage, to the like.
If you've got people
like liberation,
that,
almost.
if you've got people that that need sometimes to just need. See, a shit story can help.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it today. But that's great. Thank you, man, for putting that spin on it. Yeah. And it's really, I think I maybe just sort of didn't see that side of it. But that's why we need guys like Mark on the team. It gives you that perspective. It's a full perspective. It's not just good or go. You got to look back as well. And
how are you going financially?
Yeah, you're struggling. It's tough. It is tough. But I'm looking after the family.
But see, you, because I said it with the intent that it was. How you going? How you going?
Yeah.
See, this three. Isn't it how? So the best part about our village. How you going?
Yeah.
Can I help? That's the best part about our village.
Yeah. Wow. And I think I'm gonna do a sales course with Mark too. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you for and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Millie.
Yep. Thank you, Millie. Thank you. Yeah.
What's your grandson's name?
Arlo, Bambi, and Nenny. I've got 3 beautiful grandkids.
Oh my goodness.
2 granddaughters. So yeah,
Who woke you up?
Arlo Jay. So when he's 21 years old, I'm going to let him know that he was 21, that he woke his grandfather up and saved his life.
Thank you, Arlo.
Thank you, Arlo. Thank you, Millie.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Thank you very much.